What did ancient humans think happened when they dreamed? Every night, without choosing it, you leave this world. You enter somewhere else. Somewhere that feels real. Where people who are dead speak to you. Where you can fly. Where your deepest fears take shape and walk toward you. And then you wake up. For you, this is just a dream. For ancient humans, this was something else entirely. Something that shaped their religion, their medicine, their social structure, and possibly, according to some researchers, the very origin of human spirituality itself. What happened in the mind of an ancient human at the moment they woke from a dream and thought, what was that? Let's start with what we know for certain. Ancient humans dreamed. REM sleep, the stage of sleep where most vivid dreaming occurs, is present in all mammals. Our closest relatives, chimpanzees and bonobos, demonstrate REM sleep cycles nearly identical to ours. Homo sapiens, with our larger prefrontal cortex and richer inner lives, almost certainly experienced dreams of extraordinary vividness. The oldest written record of a dream dates to around 3100 BCE in Mesopotamia, a Sumerian king receiving divine instructions in sleep. But the practice of interpreting dreams is far, far older. Archaeological evidence suggests that 40,000 years ago, ancient humans were already performing rituals around altered states of consciousness, including sleep. The same sites that produced our earliest cave art also produced evidence of ritual chambers, possibly used for deliberate incubation of vision states, including dreams. Theory 1. The dead come back. The most widespread interpretation of dreams across ancient and traditional cultures is also the most haunting. The dead visit you. For ancient humans living in small bands where death was frequent and intimate, this made terrifying sense. You watched your mother die. 3 days later, she appears in your sleep, speaking clearly, looking healthy. You wake up. She is still dead. What conclusion would you draw? Across hundreds of cultures studied by anthropologists and archaeologists, the belief that dreams are visits from ancestors or the recently deceased is so universal that many researchers consider it a fundamental feature of human cognition. Not a cultural invention, but a built-in response to the experience of loss. And this belief had consequences. It meant the dead weren't truly gone. It meant they could communicate. It meant that certain living people, those who dreamed most vividly or most often, had special access to the world of the departed. This is possibly where shamanism was born. Theory 2. A second world. Other ancient cultures developed a different but equally powerful interpretation. The dream world is a real place that the soul travels to during sleep. Not a metaphor. Not a mental phenomenon. A literal location. Indigenous Australian traditions, among the most ancient continuous cultures on Earth, include the concept of the dreaming, a realm of time and being that exists parallel to waking life. The dreaming world is not less real than the waking world. In some frameworks, it is more real because it is where the original patterns of all existence reside. This idea appears independently in ancient Egypt, in Vedic India, in pre-Columbian Americas. Too independently to be coincidence. When ancient humans woke from a particularly vivid dream, they didn't think, that was strange. They thought, I went somewhere. I need to remember what I saw. Theory 3. The brain solving problems. Here is where science and ancient wisdom converge in a way that is almost eerie. We now know, with substantial neurological evidence, that REM sleep plays a critical role in memory consolidation, emotional processing, and creative problem solving. The brain during dreaming is not resting. It is working, connecting disparate information, running simulations, processing trauma. Ancient humans experienced this practically. Hunters who dreamed about animal movements the night before a hunt reported feeling more prepared. People troubled by social conflict often found clarity after a vivid dream. This wasn't superstition. It was the lived experience of a brain doing exactly what neuroscience now tells us brains do during sleep. So ancient humans developed a practice that seems mystical but was actually empirically reasonable. Pay attention to your dreams. They contain information your waking mind missed. Many traditional cultures formalized this into dream interpretation practices. The Iroquois of North America held collective dream-sharing ceremonies. Aboriginal Australians incorporated dream experiences into their navigational and ecological knowledge. Ancient Egyptians built dream temples, sanctuaries where people would sleep specifically to receive guidance. They were using REM sleep as a cognitive tool. And it worked. Not all ancient dream interpretations were comforting. Bad dreams, the ancient equivalent of nightmares, were almost universally interpreted as attacks. Something outside the self was entering during the vulnerability of sleep. Demons, malevolent spirits, the anger of offended ancestors. This fear produced some of the oldest protective rituals known to archaeology. Amulets placed beside sleeping spaces. Fires kept burning through the night, not just for warmth, but to ward off whatever came in the darkness. Specific postures, prayers, and rituals performed before sleep to invite protection. The ancient human going to sleep wasn't just tired. They were preparing for a journey into uncertain territory. And they took that journey seriously. Here is the extraordinary truth. Your dreams have been terrifying, comforting, confusing, and meaningful to humans for at least 300,000 years. Every nightmare you've ever had, every dream of someone you've lost, every morning where you wake up and can't shake the feeling that something important just happened. You are participating in the oldest human mystery. Ancient humans didn't have neuroscience, but they had curiosity, they had reverence, and they created, out of that reverence, some of the most beautiful and enduring aspects of human culture. Art, religion, ritual, and the conviction that the inner life is worth taking seriously. Your dreams are not nothing. They never were. Have you ever had a dream so vivid it felt real? Tell me about it below. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden inner life of our ancient ancestors, subscribe to Mr. Hell. Because history isn't just what happened out there. It's what happened in here too.